Hey Libra, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is the Empress. I'm also seeing Death card on the bottom of the deck. This feels like something big that's happening here. I'm seeing Two of Swords. It feels like you're ready to make a decision. Knight of Swords. I feel like something that... Okay, so for some of you, you could have been putting off making a choice, but getting closer to actually taking action on it. You could have felt like you needed to figure some stuff out to make sense of some things. Because I was seeing Two of Swords wanting to come out reversed, and when Two of Swords comes out reversed, it can be like you're ready to make a decision and you just haven't been making it, but I see you now like getting closer to actually doing that and taking action. But it could have been a choice of, do I do it like this? Do I do it like that? What do I do here? You could have felt kind of undecided or unsure. Just could have been like, I know what I need to do, I just haven't been doing that yet. Maybe just feeling like you weren't ready. Now seeing this Knight of Swords, I feel like you are ready here. So you look pretty grounded as well. I think holding it together amidst something challenging. Like, this needs to be said, this needs to be done. Definitely not easy. Still here doing it. For some of you, this can be a relationship. It doesn't have to be. It's like something that you're giving your energy to, something that you're showing up for, something that you've been having. The Empress is about bringing like all of your Venus energy into something. So it can be like your love language, your attentiveness, your care, what you have to offer, everything that you bring to the table, and something that you've continuously been doing. The Seven of Pentacles feels like whatever that was that you were sort of showing up for and giving to. A decision needing to be made about this. The kind of that back and forth that's happening, needing to figure things out, different ways that you can sort of go with this, trying to figure out like, why am I feeling all of these different things? Which is the path that makes most sense for me here? I feel ultimately like this isn't the most ideal circumstance. Simultaneously, you can feel like something has happened. For some of you, you could have gotten into an altercation, an argument, conflict of some sort. This can also be your own internal conflict that you're feeling. It feels like action needs to be taken, things need to be worked out, something needs to happen here. Five of Cups can just be that, like, I wish that this wasn't happening right now. You can have a difficult time sort of accepting what it is that's taking place. Okay, a relationship. Lovers are moving right over to Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands. So this can very much feel like where the relationship stands right now, there being something that's going on that must be addressed at this point, and it can be bringing up a lot of internal conflict for you that you are experiencing, and it can also be conflict that's happening with this person, and you can like not want things to go in this direction simultaneously. Like, that's what's happening. Things can't really be taken back. Then what are we meant to be doing here? All at the same time, trying to stay sort of present to what it is that you're feeling, but from a place where you feel level-headed. sort of even accepting the situation as it is, what's going on. You can feel that this puts this relationship center stage. Choices need to be made, but you can feel kind of like, is it this way? Is it that way? What's the best thing to be doing here? You can feel kind of like, from an emotional standpoint, trying to work out what it is that you're gonna do. I am seeing the High Priestess here. Okay. You can know what needs to be done because of what you're feeling. At the same time, it can be something that you don't want to do. Having this Five of Pentacles, it can be like, I don't want to be alone, or I don't want to have to, like, I know what needs to be done, but then having to deal with the aftermath of that or the consequences, like I'm not looking forward to dealing with that, or like I'm not fully trusting myself and my inner insight that I have here. It can just be like all of the reasons that would deter you from really tuning into what you feel and then making a decision based off of that. The High Priestess is connected with your deepest truth here, and I do feel like you're going through something that can feel upsetting, it can feel difficult, it can feel challenging, especially emotionally. And also too, I almost feel like this sort of brings some really important stuff to light here. Like something is becoming connected and something is becoming empowered, connected with your understanding of your experience, where you stand, what you're feeling. I think also too, insight having to do with your core values and whether or not you're investing in something that's compatible with that. And having this Ten of Swords can be something really difficult that has come up, something really difficult that has taken place. At the same time, you can feel almost like this could be the end of that roadblock potentially. Because this Ten of Swords can be like, finally something has happened here, but you could feel like this can be a moment where you're sort of liberated from this process, as well as something is kind of concluding now at this moment. And in a way, you can feel sort of like you've been right all along. There's something about that, about being tuned in a way where I feel like something has happened and there's a part of you that's almost like, I knew that this was gonna happen, or not from that standpoint of like this part of you being like, I told you what was going on, but I feel like this is more of a, what this was that has happened, I feel like it has made it more and more apparent about like what you feel and where you stand and what is your deeper truth here given these circumstances. And it's sort of allowing you to see a bit more clearly things about the relationship. And even though from an emotional standpoint you can feel like there's still conflict that's being worked out about what to do here, you can feel like something needs to be done. And you can feel like it's going to be challenging maybe regardless. With that Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, I feel too, for some of you, like somebody may have said something or done something, and then you can be like, if this was you, you can be like, why did I say that? Or why did I do that? I'm having regrets about that. And if that wasn't you, this can be the other person that's feeling like this, but also too, it can't really be taken back now. And there can be a reason, there can be a need to take action here. And at the same time, feel like there's a need to be seeing things clearly and presently and not be persuaded by something that isn't real as far as like what's going on presently. This can be like, it's difficult for me to do this, and like I didn't want to have to do this, but this is what I have to do. What is this Two of Swords? It feels ultimately like a relationship choice that's being made here. What is this Two of Swords? What to do, what to do, what to do based off of the way that you're feeling. I feel like you know what to do here, but at the same time that like all of that feeling behind having to do it can be making it difficult to do that. But you can also feel like I have to be honest. I have to be honest about the way that I feel, and I have to make a move that feels most genuine to me. And you can also feel too, like if you don't really stay true to yourself in this circumstance, like you're really going to be taking something valuable away from yourself, like making it become inaccessible. I do get the sense that you're seeing things clearly. It can just be difficult, the implications of this. There can be loss that's connected with this. There can be disappointment that's connected with this. There can be just like upset in general that's connected with this. There can be like feeling really let down, feeling like your idea of how this was going to play out very differently than how it actually has been playing out, than how it has played out. At the same time, feeling like you know what this is. I feel almost like we don't need to pull any more cards. I feel like you're clear on this. It can just be difficult to admit to what that is for yourself. Just because of everything that's involved in this. Like obviously there's emotional connection and attachment. Like we have both this King of Cups here, and we also have the Moon here, so it shows like emotions being involved in this, and then having to get to that deeper sense of what it is that you're feeling and what you know to be true. And I think really the only thing that's like blocking you from moving forward in a way where you're like, this really is what's going on and I need to do this, is just the difficulty of accepting this for what it is. And also the difficulty of like what's going to be happening moving forward. Like this may put you in a really difficult spot. You can be perceiving that that's what's going to happen. You can be like, if I do this, I'm going to feel alone in some way, or I'm going to feel like I lose some type of support, or I'm going to feel lost in some way, or it's going to put me into a position that doesn't feel particularly ideal for me. There can be this, like, I don't really like being in this position. I don't really like being in this spot. And I wonder too if you feel like it's going to sort of reinforce that for you. Simultaneously, it's going to allow you to change the circumstance that you're in. Because I also don't see this as being the best type of situation that you're in right now, and not something that you would want to remain like this. And even though it could temporarily have you going through something that would have you facing some difficult stuff, it feels like it's more your perspective on it than anything. Like you're going to be working with a part of you that's like, a change is needed, but this is going to be harder. I don't know how this would work. And so maybe I'm going to step back from that and not do it, and working with that part of yourself. I think just that part of you that's like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can pull this off, or I don't know if I can sort of like survive this circumstance. And I mean, for those of like somebody on the outside looking in can be like, wow, that feels like a really dramatic take on this, but it feels real when you're going through it. And you really can be like thinking about your survival and whatnot. Simultaneously, I do feel like there is like you may not know practically how things are going to happen, but I feel like this is not necessarily looking at things from the most like practical standpoint, it feels like there's a deeper truth on an internal level that's being revealed that then does impact things in a practical way. But that when we have the moon there, there's something really important when it comes to what our hearts are communicating with us, and also to what our like cosmic intelligence is communicating with us, because it's not just from an emotional place. This is like from a place that resonates with your soul, what it is communicating with you about your values, about your worth, about where you belong, about where you don't belong, about what feels compatible, what doesn't feel compatible, and this being a big thing that comes into play here. And it feels like something difficult that's happening at the same time. I feel like there's a very deep, important illumination here. Like a deeper truth about the relationship that is coming to light here that can't really be unseen at this point. I mean, I'm sure there are ways to like numb this or run away or ignore it or whatever. At the same time, you can feel kind of like your higher self has spoken and you know that it's the truth. And then you get to decide what to do with it. But it can be something where you feel like it's a very challenging circumstance to be within. And I don't think what would necessarily be preferred simultaneously. Here we are. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.